Lesson 13. Anybody. Non-specific. Somebody. Not anybody. Who. Specific. Mrs. Brown, Mr. Smith, etc. Nobody. What do the words anybody and somebody mean?
The words anybody and somebody mean...
What's the difference between anybody and somebody?
The difference between anybody and somebody is that we use anybody in questions and negative sentences, whereas we use somebody in positive sentences.
Anybody. Is there anybody in this room?
Yes, there's somebody in this room.
Is there anybody speaking to you?
Yes, there's somebody speaking to me.
Is there anybody sitting there on that chair?
Yes, there's somebody sitting there on that chair.
Not anybody. Corridor. Is there anybody sitting on the floor?
No, there isn't anybody sitting on the floor.
Is there anybody in this room wearing a hat?
No, there isn't anybody in this room wearing a hat.
Is there anybody in the corridor?
No, there isn't anybody in the corridor.
Nobody. Who's speaking English in this room?
We're speaking English in this room.
Who's speaking French in this room?
Nobody's speaking French in this room.
Who's wearing clothes in this room?
We're wearing clothes in this room.
Who's wearing a hat in this room?
Nobody's wearing a hat in this room.
Who's giving you an English lesson?
You're giving me an English lesson.
Who's in the corridor?
Nobody's in the corridor.
Walk. What am I doing?
You're walking.
Where am I walking to?
You're walking to the window.
Do you like walking?
Yes, I like walking.
Does he like walking?
Yes, he likes walking.
Mr. Brown's. Is this Mr. Brown's dress?
No, it isn't Mr. Brown's dress, it's Mrs. Brown's dress.
Is this Mr. Brown's shirt?
Yes, it's Mr. Brown's shirt.
Is this Mr. Brown's arm?
No, it isn't Mr. Brown's arm, it's Mrs. Brown's arm.
Is this Mr. Smith's ear?
No, it isn't Mr. Smith's ear, it's Mr. Brown's ear.
Is this David's book?
No, it isn't David's book, it's Paul's book.
Stand up. Sit down. Up. Down. What's my right hand doing?
Your right hand's moving up and down.
What am I doing?
You're sitting down.
What am I doing?
You're standing up.
Do you sit down after the lesson?
No, I don't sit down after the lesson. I stand up after the lesson.
Cannot. Can't. What's the negative of can?
The negative of can is cannot.
What's the contraction of cannot?
The contraction of cannot is can't.
Can you speak Chinese?
No, I can't speak Chinese.
Can you put the table into your pocket?
No, I can't put the table into my pocket.
Can you touch the ceiling?
No, I can't touch the ceiling.
Quarter. How much is a quarter of 40?
10 is a quarter of 40.
How much is a quarter of 1,000?
250 is a quarter of 1,000.
What's a quarter of 10?
2.5 is a quarter of 10.
What's a quarter of 5?
1.25 is a quarter of 5.
Teach. Learn. Spanish. Are you teaching me English?
No, I'm not teaching you English. I'm learning English from you.
Do you learn Spanish?
No, I don't learn Spanish. I learn English.
Do you like learning a language?
Yes, I like learning a language.
Does she like learning a language?
Yes, she likes learning a language.